Hi friends, today we are talking all things moon water, and I know what you're thinking, Molly, how the hell am I gonna get to the moon to get some water? But the good news is, it's a lot easier than you probably think it is. So we are gonna be talking all about what is moon water, what are the do's and don'ts, how do I make it, how do I use it, when can I make it, how can I store it, literally every question that I've gotten asked over the last, 3 or 4 years that I've been posting content on the internet, all about moon water, all in this one video, okay? So just save it right now, thumbs up it right now, subscribe right now so you don't lose it. And so when you have a question about moon water, you know where to come back to. Moon water. Question number 1, what is moon water? Great question. It is not water you get from the moon. As far as I know, we have not found water on the moon yet. Is that true? I think it's just Mars. Anyway, if they find water on the moon, we might need to rename this, but this is simply water that you put out under the moon to infuse it with the moon's energy. Now, I know it sounds complicated. It's very much not. There's lots of people who will tell you very complicated ways to make this. All right, I'm going to tell you the easy way. Take a jar or a plastic water bottle, or, take your water bottle, your gallon, your gal pal, whatever you got, all right, and stick it outside. No, you don't have to stick it outside. You can stick it on your windowsill. You can stick it on your balcony, all right? It does not have to be fully in view of the moon, right? A lot of times people think it's cloudy out, I can't make moon water, but we're still affected by the energy of the moon when the clouds are there, right? The tides are still impacted, so your moon water is going to be infused with it. Don't worry about it. What I do recommend is to be mindful of what container you use if you are in a climate that freezes. I tend to just use my windowsill in the winter because then I don't have to worry about it. But if you are putting this outside and temperatures are dropping, just be mindful of not using a glass container or something that's going to explode. And I also recommend putting a lid on it, and that will just make sure that it doesn't get knocked over or spilled and stuff doesn't fall into it. Especially if you want to drink this or use it in your soups or something like that, you want it to be potable water, as they say. The next question people ask me is, when can I make moon water? Does it have to be the full moon? And the answer is no. My recommendation is that you can make moon water under any phase of the moon that you want, but you need to decide for yourself if it's moon water that you want to create. And what I mean by that is, you know how the moon affects us all in different ways? So some people get really cranky on the full moon, some people get really inspired on the new moon, some people have the opposite effect. You are directly impacted by the moon in your own unique way. So you want to make sure that you're creating moon water that is going to support you in what you want to use it for. Okay, so if you're feeling really crappy on this moon, you're not sleeping, you're having a hard time getting your shit together, right? Maybe not water I want to charge with that intention, right? Or charge with that energy. If you're feeling really productive, really motivated, you're sleeping really well, you have a ton of energy, you feel like doors are opening for you, make the moon water. Bottle that energy up. So really for you, you get to decide, right? It could be the full moon, it could be the new moon, it could be sometime in between those two. And the other question people ask me is, should I make moon water in an eclipse? And my answer is kind of the same. I am someone that the eclipses are very ungrounded for me, feel very chaotic. The energy just does not feel stable. So I don't want to carry that with me. I don't want to take that energy with me. So I don't do moon water in eclipse. Some people, you may be one of them, feel really energized by an eclipse or feel like that's a really powerful time to manifest. And if that is you, make your freaking moon water, all right? There are really no rules here. So you stick your water under the moon. How long do you have to leave it there? It really does not matter, okay? Some people get worried that if I leave my moon water out and the sun comes up, it's going to ruin it. It's going to become sun water. And that never made sense to me because the light of the moon is just a reflection of the light of the sun. So don't feel like you need to set an alarm and wake up at 4 a.m. to take your moon water in. It's going to be okay. It's going to be fine, right? The moon is still in the sky when the sun is in the sky. So the energy is still there. We're still affected by the full moon. It's not like the sun sets and all of a sudden we're full moon craziness, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about the sun. It's not going to ruin it. All right. So generally I would say I tend to put mine out before I go to sleep. and just like pull it in when I remember in the morning. If you want to do like a big elaborate ritual, I know I've heard some people will do like some sort of offering outside under the full moon, or like burn a candle or do some kind of meditation while their water's under the moon. That works too. You could do that. Like make it as big or as small of a ritual as you want to. And then to store it, you don't have to do anything fancy, okay? I recommend that you keep your moon water just like water. Some people will add things to it, and that's fine. That's great if you want to do that, but it's not going to keep forever, right? It will get like moldy and gross. So I tend to keep my moon water just water and then mix it after so that I can decide like how long it stays. You don't have to label it if you don't want to. If you want to, you can. Totally up to you. A lot of what comes down to moon water is what makes the most sense for you and what works best for you and what your intention is. Using moon water, there's lots of fun ways that you can use it. You can use it on your altar as an offering to your guides or your ancestors. You can use it to clean your space, either as a spray bottle to cleanse your space, or in a simmer pot, which I've made videos on before, or you can use it really anywhere that you use water. So I will often put a little bit in with my laundry to cleanse the energy of like my sheets and my towels and my clothes. I will also put some of this in my floor wash when I'm like mopping the floors. I will just straight up take my all-purpose cleaner bottle and stick it on the windowsill, and now that is full of moon water. But if you don't have the thought to do that, you could stick a little bit of this in there too. You can also use this in place of water when you're like making your tea, your coffee, your soups, your stews, like really anywhere that you use water, you can use moon water. And in terms of what moon water is good for, it's great for cleansing. And depending on what moon cycle you're making it under, it could have other properties as well. So the full moon is really great for cleansing, releasing. The new moon's really good for calling in what you want, calling in a manifestation or an intention. You might find that, oh, I feel really energized with this moon cycle. So you impart that intention into the water. What I would recommend is doing a little bit of journaling around how you feel in that moon cycle and why you decided to make this water. So if it's, oh, I feel like anytime I hit an obstacle, I've been able to move through it with ease, or I've felt really confident this week, or I've been sleeping really well. Write that down, because that is the intention that your moon water is going to hold, in addition to, you know, the general intentions of moon water of cleansing, releasing, clearing, calling in your intention. That's it. I told you it was very simple. You don't need a rocket ship, okay, to go get some. But if you do have any other questions about moon water that I didn't answer, go ahead and drop them in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed yet, what the hell are you doing? And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.